Control Alt No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Virtual reality. SS April PVD.
I'm Grand Haggis. You wake up on the planet.
I am on that planet. And I just love this game. And I hope you will feel the same. Hello and welcome to Control Alt WoW, the podcast for those of us who love video games, Final Fantasy XIV, virtual reality, No Man's Sky, World of Warcraft, and a variety of video games. Today is Thursday, November 6, 2025, and this is episode 842 entitled Almost No More Glamour Restrictions. I'm April PVD, and with me is Grand Nagus. Hi, Grand Nagus. How are you?
Hi, April. I'm doing really fine after the awesome news we got in the latest letter from the producer live. I'm like over the moon, kind of. But on the other side, I'm a little sad that some of what I would have liked is being postponed. But that's
okay, well, let's get into how your week has been.
Yeah, let's do that. So first of all, I want to announce or talk about the latest special event. That is the crossover from Final Fantasy XIV and Fall Guys in Final Fantasy XIV. I think this is the third or fourth time that this event is taking place. They usually do it every couple of patches towards the end of a patch cycle, which brings us to the letter from the producer live, where they announced that 7.4 will launch on December 16th. So about a month and a week from now, roughly. The Fall Guys event runs from today, November the 6th, until November the 27th. So 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So if you want to get your fix in with regards to the Fall Guys version that Final Fantasy has, and you want to get the rewards, then it's your chance now for the next 3 weeks. As far as I know, there hasn't been any additions with regards to rewards. So if you got everything that is available or was available until now, you might want to skip this one or just do it to gather currency for when they eventually might add new stuff. The thing I can see that they might add eventually is some of the new dye that we got with the last patch 7.3, where they released a new set, so to speak, a new bunch of green dye. Like we have the normal dye, and then we have the special dyes like metallic and other special colors, and those have a icon with a green background, and those I think that some of them might be added eventually to the pool of dice that you can get with the currency. As to the recap, I'm not going to talk about everything that was presented because that was a 2 hour show that they had. So I'm not going to talk about everything. I'm just going to talk about the things that I find interesting and gloss over the things like Hildebrand, like new stages of weapons, of the relic weapons, uh, stuff like that. I mentioned it, but I'm not going to go into it too much because there is just it. It's just the next stage of something that is basically the same old. So it's just the next chapter. Um, the big thing that they talked about obviously was the release date of 7.4, which, as I said, is December the 16th. The Savage Raid release, which is the harder raid difficulty, normally happens a couple of weeks after the first release, the proper release. But in this case, since we have Christmas and New Year's so close to the launch, they have chosen to postpone the Savage Raid release to the 6th of January. So we have to wait another week, or the people that want to Savage Raid have to wait another week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, which is okay, I guess. They can collect more gear to be more prepared, which I hope doesn't affect the tuning of the fights. So they obviously could make them a little harder because you can get more gear, higher item level, but I think they said something to the effect of they're not going to bother with that. So let's hope they don't. The big thing that they talked about besides that is variant dungeons, which is basically a dungeon that you can do with 1 to 4 players. And it's a dungeon that has multiple storytelling segments that you can run a couple of times, 4 or 5 times, I think, and explore it in different ways each time. So it's let's say you have you come into a dungeon and you have 3 doors in front of you. And you choose door number 1, which lets you experience the dungeon in the unique way as that stuff changes just from the prospect that you run through door number 1 rather than number 2 or number 3. You get different bosses, you get different stories. So with the last couple of variant dungeons, you had 12 story segments that you could uncover and experience. And I can't remember how many different bosses there are, but I know that with the last ones, there is always a special boss that you have to do stuff for, special things in the dungeon. Let's say you have to find a key and open a door, or you have to solve a riddle and move a statue from left to right or vice versa, and or turn it, or like those things that you do in let's say Tomb Raider, the solo player game, where you have those riddles where you have to proceed, but you have to solve the riddle to then be able to proceed. That's basically the premise of a variant dungeon, that whatever you do, the outcome of the dungeon changes. So I find it really, really nice that they made something like that. Uh, and then you have the more difficult version, which is which has a different mechanic as to you being able to run with 2 to 4 people, because that is so hard that a solo run wouldn't be possible. And then you have the most difficult one of the 3. That's basically all. It has to be a 4-man group, and the and some other things are different as well, where you don't have any trash mobs in between the bosses, for instance. So there are a few difficult differences there, and it's obviously way more difficult. So there is a challenge for everyone, basically, with these variant dungeons. There is a new cosmic exploration destination. The third destination in the cosmic exploration travel, and it's the second to last. So we have 4 in total, because we have 4 patches. So we have the 7.0, and then we have the 7.1, and then 7.2 through 7.5 is where we got the 4 cosmic exploration destinations. So this is going to be the third one, and then the last one is going to come with 7.5, the final patch of the expansion. And then we have the 2 most important for me. Well, okay, besides the MSQ, obviously, because the MSQ is the first time that we get to experience something that eventually, story-wise, leads into 8.0, the next expansion after Dawn Trail. So I'm interested to see what new paths they're going to lay out for us to travel, and what the story is going to be, how much of older stories we are going to encounter, and yet new. Like, for instance, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there is a case where a group of NPCs, we encountered a group of NPCs early in the history of the game. And later on, a couple of expansions later, they were kind of the leading figures, the main figures, so to speak, as not themselves, but their story was the main story of the expansion, a couple of expansions down the line. So I wonder if there is going to be something like that with 8.0, if there's going to be a story thread that we already experienced that is going to be continued, or if it's going to be a completely new story with things that we haven't seen at all before, like with Dawn Trail. Dawn Trail was a completely new continent with a completely new story. I really like that. But it's nice to have something where I wonder what happened to this person. And then you come to your next expansion and you see, oh, hi, there you are again. Now we can continue your story, right? So they said in a discussion in one of the fan fests that Ishikawa, that's the main story person at Square Enix for Final Fantasy, she has a little black book. She has a little black book where all the ties are written down. What ties into what character has ties to another, like a poster on a wall of a detective or a private eye, where you see all those threads tying together, all the newspaper clippings that they have on the wall, and all the threads go from one to the other, and right. So basically, that's what her little black book is all about.
Wow.
And I wonder how much of that little black book, how much content in that hasn't been touched yet or hasn't been worked further on yet. Because I know that there are at least two, maybe three storylines that I would like to see continued. I remember when I did Heavensward, the first expansion, for the first time. There is a girl that falls off a house. Let's put it that way, without spoiling too much. And she gets saved. I'm going to say that much. Not how or why or whatnot. But we see a little more of her story, what happens to her in the post Heavensward patches. So I was really interested to find out, oh, is this everything we're going to see after she has been saved and that was it? But no, like, I think it's like patch 3.4 or whatnot is when we meet her again. and we get to see how her life has been in the city. And then 2 expansions later, we see even more of her story. Just a little side story, but still, she isn't forgotten. Her story has been expanded upon. And those moments I really, really like with Ishikawa, that she says, oh, this is a story. What if I take this recurring character and put her or him in there as well and tell a little more background story on them? That's I've seen this so often now, and it's so that's what makes the story of Final Fantasy so good for me. That they don't oftentimes in WoW you just have a character show up and then they're forgotten, right? The next expansion they're just gone. With this, obviously there are some that you don't see again, or we haven't seen again yet. But yeah, there are quite a few where, as I just said, we get to experience what what their lives have turned into a couple of expansions down the line, like 4 or 5 years later. And I really, again, said I really like that. So yeah, I wonder what that is going to be with the 7.4 patch and 7.5, obviously, how much we are going to see that is brand new and how much is tying into content that we already know, story that we already know. Okay, so now we get to my two major things. One is Glamour, and that's where we get to the show title today, because we have or we got the news that almost all restrictions for Glamour, or transmog if you want to use the WoW term, have been lifted or will be lifted as of 7.4. So that means that I can get a piece of gear for my White Mage healer at level 100 and not use the same item, obviously, but the glam of it on my level 1 monk or paladin, because I don't need to be equal or higher level or have equal or higher level gear anymore to then glam it, which is as it is now. And I don't need to have the same job or role anymore. So imagine in WoW when you want to have your warlock run around in druid gear, no problem.
Yeah.
You want your druid to run around in paladin gear, no problem, right? So you can mix and match however you want, right? So that's insane, absolutely insane that they did that, in my opinion. So The only thing that might be an issue still with regards to restriction is race. So the only race gear that exists in Final Fantasy XIV is the starting gear. When you create your character, you have the level 1 starting gear for your race. So a Lalafell or a Viera or a Rogadin or whatnot. And then there are male and female versions of those as well. So those, I could see that they are going to keep them locked, because race is something that is completely outside of job and role,
Right.
right? So I mean, if they let us do that too, sure, but they didn't mention it. Let's put it that way. They didn't mention that they are explicit. They didn't mention explicitly that they were going to lift the race restrictions. Let's put it that way. So, which doesn't mean that they are not going to, but it doesn't mean that they are gonna either. So we'll just have to see. Yeah, Glam is absolutely insane, and people have been running like the chicken that has been chopped,
The head
has got
chopped
its
off.
head chopped off. Yeah, run crazy with the to get all the glam now, all the items, so they can glam now. Because there are so many things that you couldn't wear, like many caster things that you can only wear as a caster, not as a healer. Although they are nearly identical, but again, they aren't. So it's the same as, again, with WoW. If you want to have your healing robes equipped on a mage or a warlock, they're still robes, but you can't wear them because they are not warlock or mage robes, but healer robes or priest.
Right.
But in Final Fantasy you can, right? So it doesn't matter anymore. With regards to glamour plates, the basically default saving slots where you can save a glamour set. We have 20 at the moment. And they are working on, or they have the increase of the glamour plates in their pipeline. But it's not time for that yet, because before that, we have to talk about housing, which is the next big thing I want to talk about. And that's where I'm a little sad. Not disappointed, but sad, because they said that they have to do a couple more things to or finish them off, and then they can start with the housing update. So what they said is basically that the servers, as they are right now, can't handle the increase of item slots in housing. which doesn't mean as much as you, well, it means it in another way. So what Yoshi P said is basically that when you turn on the server after maintenance, they are currently designed for the amount of items to be loaded in, the data amount to be loaded in, and that's it, right? So if you now say that you want to add an additional, or no, if you want to increase the item slots by 1.5 times, that means that there are 1.5 times as many items that you need to load in for the when the servers restart, and they just can't because the server would say you're crazy. I'm not going to do that, basically. So they need to work on the server structure, the server speed, the server layout. I can't remember exactly how it was phrased to handle that 1.5 times item count. And once they've done that, then they can implement the upgrade, the increase of items. So that would mean that if we go by houses and don't talk about apartments, which Yoshi P hasn't explicitly mentioned, the apartment size would increase from 100 to 150, which is a 1.5 increase. Same would be from a small house, 200 to 300, medium from 300 to 450, and the large would go from 400 to 600 items. Right, so I would like to have seen a double 2 times, but the 1.5 times is already stretching it, he said. So I'll take what I can get. Let's just say that. With the other thing that he wanted to do, we basically can have our house be a TARDIS. So it's big on the inside if we want it to be. If you have a small plot on the outside, you go in and you have a medium or a large inside, which again, it's not supposed to be a large inside with 400 slots. It's supposed to be a small with 200 slots. So there is that additional load again on the server, right?
Right, yeah.
And when you put the 1.5 count on top, that means that if I go and increase the size of the inside of my house on a small plot from small to large, that means that after the 1.5 addition, the item count that I have available inside my house goes from 200 to 600, which is 3 times effectively. So if everyone that has a small house does that, you can see how much higher the load is then.
Right.
right? So 1.5 is already stretching it, he said, just because of those two aspects. Right? So if you had a 2 point increase, it would have been it went from 200 to 800, which would be a quadrupling
Right. Yeah.
of of the numbers. So he said CPU Kun, he called him, uh, would just yeah, no, can't do that. So I'll take the 1.5 times, and I'm upgrading to medium probably because a big house. I'm not inclined to use a big house on that at least not yet. I'm going to see my North American house. I'm going to see how much those 200 slots, how much I can fill up the empty space that still is in there, and see if it's worth it, if it's enough item density, so to speak. Right? Because it's still, so far, there's nothing worse than a large house that feels empty
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
because there are quote unquote only 400 item slots in a house that could easily use for 800. Right? So 600 might not quite be enough for a large. So medium has always been the perfect medium between too small a house to really do something with and that lack of density in the large one. The medium, if you do the math, there's a guy that did a YouTube video a couple of years ago where he divided the floor plan up into brackets, into tiles, and counted the tiles of properly usable floor space, which means you have to subtract the tiles, so to speak, that are used for the stairwell to both the upside, the downstairs and the upstairs. You have to subtract the doors, the tiles in front of the doors, because you just can't put something there, obviously. And when he did all the math, the medium was the one that had effectively the most usable tiles in any house size. So that is that is always good to know for people that that wonder what is the best size to work with. I would always go with medium, unless you have something very special that you need the big downstairs for,
Right.
or the entryway, where you have like very special things that you want to accomplish, where you just absolutely need a a certain type of layout or size uh, of interior. Like for instance, my large house library downstairs
With the piano.
with the piano, yeah.
Yeah.
and it was so difficult to figure out how to do it. And then one of my friends from the FC came and gave me one of the strategy tables, the big tables in the middle. And I thought, yeah, that's a
And
really
they
good
take up
thing.
one slot?
It doesn't matter if you take a strategy table that basically fills half of the room, or you take a glass of wine. It's all one slot.
Right, that's what I was. Yeah, okay,
Yep,
that's
yep,
interesting.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's it's the item slot, not the size of the item that counts. So yeah, and then eventually she got another one and gave me that too. So I had the two strategy tables placed down there. And from there on, it just clicked over time as to how I would decorate the library. I started over two times because I just couldn't get it right, and then the third time, uh, it 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 was just it just fit. So yeah, so housing in a large house is really difficult. Some people just uh, corner off a an entire floor, or they in a large house, like for instance our FC house on Materia is basically when you go upstairs, you have two rooms on each side of the stairwell, but it they just close them off with bookshelves.
Oh.
So you just have a wall of bookshelves, and then a little
Alcove.
alcove. Yeah,
Well, that's what I did in my apartment. My dining room I made into my bedroom by putting in a wall of bookcases. So,
yeah,
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 that's
yep,
cool.
yep. And it saves a lot of uh, stuff to fill or room to fill, and it still looks great. Um, so it's not as if something is missing, um, because the bookshelves are so dominant, right? Like in your face,
Right.
dominant, that they draw the attention to themselves and not to everything around them, which is basically, oh, there's supposed to be something behind them, right? And yeah, I really like that idea, what they did up there. And yeah, so with that said, with the delay of the housing update to 7.5, which he confirmed, Yoshi P did, that we are going to get that in 7.5. He didn't say when. So 7.5 has three major patches, sub patches. Has or each patch has that. Has in this case it would be 7.51, 7.53, and 7.55. And then at the end, because it's the last one, we'll get a 7.58 as well, because it's the last patch of the sub patch of the expansion, which is basically a couple of weeks before the next expansion launches, we get that 5.58 patch. So I really look forward to 7.5 already, even though 7.4 hasn't even launched yet. Yeah, so that's basically what the live letter gave us. As to Jaffa Cake, my Lalafell, she finally got her botanist to 100. She got her miner to just shy of 100, I think 98 or something. And she got her first crafting job to 90, which means that she can now work on the final Dawn Trail Allied Society faction, which the Allied Society faction is a side quest, story quest series, basically a faction where you can grind rep with when you get 3 per expansion. And the latest one is the crafting one, the Yokhui. And you need to be level 90 on a crafting job to unlock them. And my Jaffa got goldsmith to level 90, so she can now start with that and get the job leveled and experience the story, which I really like the story. It's really one of the better stories that I've ever seen in a Allied Society storyline. Yeah, so the entire Dawn Trail experience with regards to Allied Societies has been really good. I'm not quite through with the gathering one yet either. Obviously, I just started with the crafting one and the battle one. I did once already on one of my North American characters. That is more down to earth, Dawn Trail standard. Let's put it that way. Not boring or anything, but it's a standard story that is basically, you could say it's just a quote unquote simple extension of a previously told story, right? Like another chapter. With the other two, the gathering one is kind of, they pick up on issues that have been dealt with or have been mentioned in the MSQ, in the main scenario quest. And that's what I like as well, is again coming to Ishikawa's Black Book, Little Black Book, is the fact that they have those side stories, those side content stories where they just say, oh yeah, this aspect of the story, of the main story, is one that we want to explore more. So we're going to make the story of an allied society about that. Or there's another one where you have a person that is interesting or a fan favorite or whatnot, and then they make another story around them for like custom deliveries, which is kind of the same thing as a allied society, but it doesn't revolve around a faction, but rather one person, right? And you don't have battle and gathering and crafting jobs to work with, but only gathering and crafting. There is no battle content in that part in the custom deliveries. And again, you have with the one that we have for Dawn Trail that got released in 7.2, I believe. It's a throwback, kind of, to two expansions ago, Shadowbringers. We had this hub in one of the Shadowbringers zones where we had this group of people, people that play the game know what the trolley story is. So railroad trolley. And there is a story that basically works as it's fondly called the trolley story, right? And they kind of made a throwback to that story, to those characters indirectly in Dawn Trail, even though it's, as I said, 4 years ago. And people were laughing, were so excited about it. Even though the original story was kind of sad, because the original leader of the gang there, the trolley gang, his wife had died. And he was like, he became a drunkard and whatnot because he couldn't deal with it. Right? And with this, in Dawn Trail, she's alive. So would have been like the guy in WoW that lost his wife in the Barrens, right?
Right.
Yeah. And in Draenor, she's alive. Right? So
Right, yeah.
so that's basically the premise, the same comparison. Right? So, and the custom delivery story revolves around the now alive wife. So getting to see the what could have been version, so to speak. Interesting twists and turns, and again, things that are just too good to not play, in my opinion. And that's been my week.
Awesome. Sounds like big things are coming.
April, how has your week been?
Oh my gosh. No Man's Sky is incredible. Okay, so last week I did the expedition on April PVD and Aprillian, Expedition 20, I should say. One of the things that happens with the expeditions, or these two expeditions, is that whatever vehicle, well, you can bring a vehicle into the expedition from your saved if you're not doing it from a fresh start. That's once you get to the anomaly, you can pick up that vehicle and all the stuff that you put in the expedition holding space. But of course, you need to, in order to get the vehicle, you need nanites. And I just like playing with the mechanics and limitations of a game. Now, of course, No Man's Sky is unique because you can also choose to not have any of the limitations, which I don't like. I like having the limitations. It makes it feel like more of a game. I have no qualms with people who like to do the creative and have all the things available to them. But I like figuring out stuff. So what I've been doing is bringing over runaway molds, which you can put in a refinery once you get into the expedition, and you can bring over, I think, 30 items. So I was 40 items. So I was including like about 10 stacks of basically 10,000, but it's 9,999, and that will yield you 2,000 nanites. No. Yes. 10,000, so it's 5 to 1, so 2,000 nanites. And but you can only get to it once you get to the anomaly. And you can also bring over, I think, 10 technology. So I was bringing stuff over like I'll talk about that in a second. So I did it on April PVD and Aprillian. And with both of those, I brought over S-Class Corvettes. Well, it was funny because with April PVD, my first time going through, I didn't think about the fact that I could bring over an S-Class vehicle. So I started a Corvette over there, and then I upgraded it using the nanites. But then with Aprillian, I brought over an S-Class with all the bells and whistles that I could have. And it was crazy to be. Have you done an expedition?
Yes, I have.
So, you start off with nothing, and then you have to do all these little errands and things. And basically, the 19 was to help you learn about making a Corvette. And this is not a spoiler because 20 is already over. 20 was really to help you learn about the new way to farm for a Corvette, which I don't know if they're going to bring it to the main game, but you had this debris finder. And it also taught you about the Nautilus, which was really good for me because back when I first started and I got to that part, I gave up because trying to do it in VR was really hard. But I figured out how to do it, so it's good that it makes you do something. Anyways, I made my third Steam account because I wanted to know if I brought over a regular special vehicle, if that would work and I could make copies of it. So I took and I put a picture in the show notes. I made I made my third character. I named her April. This is like a throwback to World of Warcraft. And but the neat thing is I thought I was going to have to buy another version of No Man's Sky. But once you make a Steam account, bring it into your family group, then you can, as long as you have only two games running, you could just use those two games. If I wanted to play with a third at the same time, which I don't think I could, but I don't think I will, then I would have to buy another one. So I could just swap out the different accounts and still play. And it's just great because, I'm not paying any subscription. So
Yeah.
I love Hello Games so much. So I had to run around and get April to the anomaly. So I'm doing all the different steps because you just can't get the anomaly. You have to go do this, this, and this. And you have to just follow a couple of steps, get your ship up. And I was really doing it the easy way because I would have one of my other accounts join her and give her all the stuff she needed. So she didn't even have to do all the special steps and stuff. And it was fun doing that and figuring it out. There was some glitches, but I managed to make it work. Then once I got her to the anomaly, then I loaded her up with all the stuff because for 20, somebody on Reddit, I put the link in the show notes last week, had done all the stuff of what I needed to have to get all the points that you could bring over. And I got her the runaway mole and ran through the whole thing. It was a lot of work. And at the time, I think there was a little over a week left. And she did it, brought back, and actually made 6 of those, I called them iPro balls, or, as in eyeballs. And it was really fun running through the third copy. And then... and I found another way to make nanites other than runaway mold. God, it's so crazy. While one of the things when you were in this particular expedition, they did something. So you did 19, but you didn't do 20, right?
Correct.
Right. Okay. 20, they did something completely different. They made all the space stations broken ones. So if you've ever been to a broken space station, it doesn't have hardly any of the things that a regular space station has. It doesn't have any vendors or anything. It just has one room that has a teleporter and a exosuit. But it does have an exosuit upgrader, but it does have 3 boxes that you can get stuff in, and sometimes it was a ship augment or a exosuit augment. And it has a room off of one side where you can go through if you have an Atlas 3 pass. And sometimes there was boxes in there, but most of the time it was just carbon plants that you can get carbon from, and a couple of rooms that require the remembrance, which is just weird. I think they did that so that there wouldn't be any other distractions. I do know that in Expedition 19, I spent more time doing other things that had nothing to do with the expedition. Like I got a freighter and I made a home, did some other things, and I was sucking up to some of the guilds to see how far I could go to get extra things from the merchant guild. All of that wasn't available in 20. And I think that streamlined the process and made it easier for me to then start a 4th account. And this was Sebastian, which was another one of the characters I had in World of Warcraft. And he got a living ship. I wanted to see if I could duplicate a living ship. So I brought a living ship over. Now, the problem with the living ship was, and I didn't realize it at the time, is that the hyperdrive needed to be Atlanted. And in the game, one of the milestones gave you that drive, but I didn't realize until after I got out of the game that it would have worked in the living ship. I didn't think it would work. I had gotten this living ship up to a really, I had a whole bunch of psychotic eggs because half of my expeditions on April PVD and Aprillian, the frigates are living ships. And when you send a living ship out on an expedition on your freighter, not to be confused with the other expeditions, they always bring back either the psychotic eggs or the egg sacs to expand the storage space on your living ship. And I just love the living ships. I put some pictures in the show notes of the living ship that I brought over. And then when I got back, I was able to duplicate it 6 times. So that was kind of interesting. And I was doing it last night. And I don't know why I went through I just ran back and forth. Oh, and one of the things I did with the extra money that I earned in the expedition was to go to the other side of the abandoned or broken space station. It does have a galactic trader, and it was selling those little tech packages that you could then open up and get gear. I mean, get tech X class tech stuff.
Yep.
Well, I bought I saw this from a guy on YouTube. I have to put a link to his video in the show notes to give him credit. But he was saying to buy a bunch of those and then bring them back without opening them, because you have all this extra money that you get in the expedition. Buy them, bring them back, and then once you open them, once you're back, and I bought like 100 on Sebastian, and you open them and then sell them, and you get, like, I got over 75,000 in nanites. So
yep, exactly.
Yeah, so that was a neat way to get nanites back. And but the only thing that happened that was kind of weird was that I went back to try to get some more of the Corvettes, the S-Class Corvettes that I had gotten for April and Aprillian and April PVD, and it wouldn't let me copy anymore. I don't know if it was something that was a glitch, but I ended up giving up on that. So what I'm going to do is make some of the eyeballs my squadron and make the living ships my squadron on my other toon. But I went in today to see about making another copy, and Expedition 21 is up. Which is really weird to me, because I have been playing for months and there weren't any expeditions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now there's 3 of them in a row. But what I was reading on Facebook group, that this Expedition 21 is a repeat of another expedition from a while back, which is nice because there's so many expeditions that people didn't get to do. So now we can revisit these. And this one, I think, is supposed to give you a unique ship. I know some people, but some people are complaining because, you think you earned a unique ship, and then, now other people can get it. But
the
more the merrier.
Yeah, of course.
So I put a picture in the show notes of my my living ship. But underneath that picture, if you can scroll down and take a look at, I went to a new place today to just get mats for one of my alts. She needed some sodium and stuff, and this thing was on this planet. Can you see it? It is very weird looking. If anybody can go to the show notes, and you can see them at CtrlAltWow.com.
Yeah, that little yes.
Yes. So just, I'm not going to say anymore. Anyways, I had some fun with one of my alts, and I made this really tiny Corvette. It just has 3 ambassador walkways and a few other equipment on it. And I just thought it was so cute to make a tiny ship. I love the fact that you can do anything with a Corvette. And yeah, the only thing you can't do with a Corvette is put it in your storage on your freighter. So yeah, so you can have up to 12 not in storage, and then 8 not in storage and 12 in storage. So it's a total of 30 ships. But yeah, I'm really struggling to not use up all my slots with Corvettes. But
Of course you are.
yeah. But I'm hoping to see what happens on this next expedition. I know you're supposed to get a special ship, but I did get put one of my alts, Sebastian, in the Expedition 21 with a Sentinel ship. So I want to see if he'll be able to make copies of that, because that would be interesting. The one that we got.
Yeah, the white one.
Yeah, the white one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Which, interesting enough, you can put an Atlantic drive in that one. So we'll see what happens with that one. I'm having so much fun trying to figure out the mechanics. One of the things I'm trying, but I'm not having success with, and I don't even know if I need to do this, but I saw a YouTube video where someone had put a teleporter on their Corvette, and they do that by landing it on their base and then manipulating some walls against the Corvette, but it's only one way. You can't teleport back to it. You can only teleport out. But if you want to teleport, you can just pull up the anomaly. I mean, it's not that hard to do. So it's interesting to try to figure out the mechanics of the game. And I'm having so much fun. I posted a video on my Facebook page and my Instagram. One of the things that I've been doing, I may have talked about it before, and I'll put a short video in the show notes, is that I do have a patio furniture cushion that I stand on when I'm playing in VR, and I have managed to use it to help me walk in place, and I call it the poor man's VR treadmill. Now, I don't know if you've seen them. Have you seen the VR treadmills?
No.
Oh my God, they are so good. What happens is they have this like arm that goes up from the base, and it puts you in like a little harness, but then the floor itself is circular, and there's 2 versions. One of them is shoes that you have to put a little oil on the platform, and you walk, and as you walk, the shoes keep track of how you're walking, and you're walking in VR. Of course, when I'm doing it, I'm still moving my thumbstick, and but I'm getting exercise and feeling active, and I actually get steps. I looked it up, and walking in place is really good for you. So I'm having a blast in No Man's Sky. Really loving it. I think it's the best game ever. But I do go to Zenith twice a month. The United Zenithian Alliance, which was a group of people it was a group of different guilds who got together to do things in Zenith for people. They have a Discord channel and everything. And they had, when it was at its height, they were organizing these cosmetic crazes, among other things. Of course, it's died down. There's not as much many people playing in Zenith since they put away the support. But I still do the cosmetic craze, and I did it last Saturday, and it was a lot of fun. We only had like 5 people, but we managed to take down all the bosses and all the events. And it's all about it's to get coins to get these different cosmetics. A few people have new characters that they are trying to get geared up, but there's a couple of people. There's one guy I want to shout out to, Ninja. He shows up every time, even though he has all the gear, and he's just really great, and it was fun. But while I was in there, somebody told me that Winter, who is he was a dev, and I guess he's still doing something with the game. The company is called Ramen VR, and he showed up in game. So that was kind of neat that he didn't show up while I was there, but they said he was there last week, and he really helped me in Zenith. He was the one that teleported me up to the throne, because that's where you had to go to get to the level where you could do the big raids. Of course, now I can get up there easily, and because I got some new characters, and they changed the way the dynamics of flying and stuff. So, and I'm not so scared anymore that I can get up there, which I wanted to give a shout out to Ramen VR and Zenith, because there's a lot of points in No Man's Sky where I'm up in the sky, like one of the things you have to do that you had to do in the Expedition 20 was do a skywalk to go out to these Corvette debris that you would find with the debris finder. And prior to Zenith, I would have been terrified, but I was able to go out and feel comfortable because I've gotten used to it, and it was really good. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm still doing my workouts, and I'm having a great time with that. I have started posting some videos about the VR workout because I think it would help a lot of people. And that's been my week.
Very nice.
I guess it's time for email now.
So we got an interesting email. Well, it was not so much as an email as a response on our Podbean page. And this is from, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's GIAGZ090. And they wrote, "Hey, April, you really aren't missing much with WoW. It's not the game we all used to love from so long ago. I recently have gotten into No Man's Sky, and I'm absolutely loving it." And then they said, "Your Discord link is invalid, by the way." So thank you. I'm going to call you Gia. Gia Z's 090. I did fix the link, so now it should work on both the page, and I put the link in our in the notes for the link for each episode. And so thank you for letting us know. And I guess I hear WoW has changed. God, we played it for so long. All right. Our next email, and thank you for writing in. We really appreciate hearing from you. Our next email is from Kep. Would you like to read that one?
I can do that. Let me see. Here we go. So I've been playing mostly Legion Remix this week. What a fantastic event. I'm really enjoying it. I've also been taking part in the Hallow's End event, collecting some very nice transmog items.
Ooh.
Sadly, the new Headless Horseman's mount did not drop for me this year. Got it because it's an awesome looking mount. The old version of the mount did drop, but I already own it as it dropped for me many years
I
ago.
hate when that happens.
Yeah, that's.
I wonder, is it the same event? Because remember, you used to have to go out and fight the horseman, and then he'd throw his head, and you'd have to hit the head, and the little things would run around. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, but that's not how you got
The horseman head? No.
The horse. The horse, I think you got when you did the, what was it? The graveyard wing of,
yeah, that
of
was
the
in the
Scarlet
graveyard.
Monastery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the graveyard with and he would throw his head, and then you had to fight the head, and then the little pumpkins would drop, and you'd have to fight them, and then he
I thought you meant the open world.
No. Okay, that was just
event where you had to go and extinguish the
fires. Oh wow, that was so much work.
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Especially if there were not enough people around.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's continue with the email.
Right.
I've also been running lots of alts through the Dark Moon Fair profession quest, which is very easy to do, and it's great XP. I got the urge to roll a dwarf rogue on Legion Remix. I haven't played one for a long time, since the old vanilla TPC and Rat days, where my main was a gnome rogue. At first, I thought my new dwarf rogue was a little weak. However, as soon as I dinged level 11, the whole thing changed. I went assassination with the artifact daggers, and holy bleep. What a fun class to play. I just one-shot mobs. It's crazy and a lot of fun to play. I also bought all the new transmogs from the Day of the Dead event.
Aww.
There are some very nice pieces, and I also got 2 more dancing marionette pets.
Oh, those are cute.
Yeah. And finally, I got the prize turkey mount from the November Trading Post Traveler's Log. Screenshot attached. Hope you're all well. All the best, Kep.
Oh, look at that. That's a turkey. Gobble.
A turkey.
I wonder if it gobbles. You have to tell us, Kep. Does your mount gobble? All right. Thank you, Kep. Awesome. That was really good. It's so good to hear about the old WoW stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's going to get a house in WoW. All right.
Probably they don't cost much. They're basically free once you buy the
expansion.
The expansion, the midnight expansion. You basically, I can't remember how much. It's like a couple of thousand, I think.
Ooh.
For the plot, so it's really cheap.
You have to tell us about it.
At least compared to the Final Fantasy one.
Right. That one seems really, hard because it's so much.
Yeah.
All right. And now we have an email from Rigor Morte. Rigor Morte. Greetings, car crew. Attached is my audio this week. Apologies for a lack of screenshots this time, but IRL has been a bit busy and I want to get some more content, so I have some decent ones to share. Cheers, Rigor Morte. All right, let's listen to Rigor Morte's audio.
Greetings, car crew. Rigor Morty here for another quick audio update. It's been a busy week as always. I did a little bit of some of the Halloween stuff in Guild Wars 2. Tried to carve some of the pumpkins, but there's thousands, so I didn't get around to doing all of them. And there's different sort of games you can play through the Mad King doors. I tried the tower again, but I kind of failed at doing the tower. It's not easy. It's a sort of jumping puzzle. We had to jump around on little tiny bits and survive. You can glide your way down, so it's not like you're going to die or anything, but it's just getting to the top is a nightmare, literally. So I failed on that aspect, but that's okay. It is kind of confusing. I play just 2 games. I play No Man's Sky and Guild Wars 2. No Man's Sky, obviously, I did the Center of the Universe reset, and then I felt more settled after that, having done that for some reason. And then I built my base on our planet that we chose, next to some caves, which is kind of useful. I really like it because the rocks on that everywhere are ferrite and chromium, and there's a lot of other resources around, and some pretty lakes. I did a screenshot of a lake in the Discord the other day. Really quite pretty. Really good graphics in this game. I really enjoy it. What else have I been doing? So yeah, Guild Wars 2. I've been playing around a bit with different characters. Some people use like a roulette wheel to try and figure out what they're going to play as a main for Visions of Eternity expansion, but I'm not even near that yet. I really enjoy playing my engineer a lot. He's quite complex, that's the only thing. But I am playing just as a scrapper spec. You can be I might try and see if I can unlock Hollowsmith and use the power of the sun to kind of summon weapons, and you use a sword and a shield, which is got a completely different game style, but you have like a heat mechanic you have to watch out for. When you're in the something forge, I think it's something forge it's called. When you go in that mode, you generate heat, but you do a lot more damage. So I might try and play that. But I've been back on my warrior, so I really enjoy the warrior spec and things. And people, problem is I don't ever want to know what I want to play from one day to the next. I really want to get moving on my herald because there's a lot of coolness with that. But I'm enjoying the story of the Chars with the warrior, and I need to make a Sylvari, and I need another character slot. So who knows? You can buy character slots in the with gems, and I probably can buy some more gems. But I'm gonna see what sales come up at the end of this month, 27th, I think, in November to the 5th of December is the expansion sale period and stuff, and sometimes they reduce the cost of gems at that point as well. So I might look at buying another slot, or you can buy the deluxe version of an expansion and get a character slot with it. So it might be cheaper to do that and then get some cool looking armor to go with it, which might be beneficial. So I might do that. But I'm really enjoying playing some Guild Wars when I get time. I'm in Guild Wars 2. I'm currently on this halfway through this Icebrood Saga mini expansion, which I think is the last one before End of Dragons expansion. And it's one of these big battle ones. So you got you get these sort of areas where you have to kind of clear and do stuff, and the quest sort of starts. You meet up with your NPC characters, and then you have to do some stuff to prepare for battle. So you're doing some supply runs, and you're getting rid of spies, and you're getting rid of propaganda radio speakers and listening devices and all sorts of stuff. And it's like a little bar you fill up, and then when you fill up that bar, you get to the next section of it. And I just filled up the bar last night, so I'm ready for the next part of the battle. So I've got to then push back the forces in another part. They're really good fun, but I need to get some more time in to play that. That's kind of been where things have primarily been in Guild Wars 2. No Man's Sky, like I said, I'm enjoying delving back into it. I was the Star Trek stuff I was watching was Strange New Worlds. It's that one that's a prequel to the original Star Trek. We started watching it and recording it. We watched 2 episodes, and then she didn't record the rest. And I'm like, well, I'll have to find time to watch it myself. I was watching that, although I watched I had some time myself yesterday. I watched a bit of Solo, A Star Wars Story, the film. I watched about a third of it, and I'll probably get the rest of it watched. So yeah, that's why those sort of things make me want to delve into No Man's Sky some more, and it's good fun. There's a lot I haven't done in No Man's Sky, and a lot I haven't learned. I've got like ships with damaged equipment and and things I need parts for, and I just need to do some research and figure out where to get these upgrades and bits to make improvements and stuff, and keep rearranging my Corvette, because that's good fun. But like I said, I might try something to kind of assist with the fighting a little bit. I think I just need a bigger missile capacity or something, because I only get one off and then that's it. But I'm not turning as fast, obviously, as a small ship. So it'd be kind of cool if I could have some, maybe that I think I read that stability wings can kind of add effect, but also look cool in the process. But I'll play around with that this week, probably. So yeah, it's all going well. I just need to find more time to play some more both Guild Wars 2 and No Man's Sky, and I will. It's kind of a hectic week this week. I've got cats at the vet tomorrow, and I've got some new glasses on Friday. But yeah, I should get some more time in here and there. And like I said, people should always join the Discord, because I'm always posting images of Guild Wars 2 and stuff in there. I might include some with this submission. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what comes up. But it's sort of last minute this time around. And I've been working on an audio editing thing, which I hope Brennan likes, and Grenagus likes, for them. So that's been good fun. I've been a little bit rusty, so it's been good to do some more audio editing and splicing and stuff again. I think it turned out really well. So look forward to people being able to hear that at some stage. Anyway, I'll crack on for now. I've got bits to do and a dungeon to tidy up. Cheers.
Oh wow, the Guild Wars 2 sounds really good. I hope you can get your expansion slot. As far as upgrading your gear on No Man's Sky, on your Corvette, first of all, what is the button? I don't know how I think it's E. What button is it that you need to lock on for the fighters? Because I know there's one letter.
I always use S.
S. Okay, yeah. Because you're saying that you can't move fast enough, but there's an automatic targeting on the
yeah.
So
when you hold down, when you're in a space battle, you hold down the S key, and it'll auto target.
Yeah.
And it will auto track the targeted.
And then all you have to do is press the fire button and keep firing.
Yep,
and,
exactly.
There are some. You can go to like one of the vendors and get your the ship vendor, and you can get the things for your different fighting what the cyclone or whichever one that you're using the most for your weapons, you can get something that will make it so that it'll take some of the heat off and you can recharge faster.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it. We'll help you when you're ready to get back into the game. And yeah, I understand how you want to do so many things in Guild Wars. It's hard when you don't have enough time. I hope your cat feels better. I did put one of your pictures from the Discord in the show notes, and it is beautiful. No Man's Sky is very beautiful, and one of the things I like about it is I do feel like I'm in Star Trek when I'm in my ship and I'm landing on a planet and everything. And Star Trek, what is it? Which version is he watching now? It's the prequel, and
Strange Worlds.
yes, it's the one with Pike. And
exactly.
So and a young Captain Kirk, and Uhura and Spock, and it's really good. I've been watching some of it. I haven't really gotten into it as much because I'm taking it slowly, but they're doing a really good job. And the best part is the cinematography is gorgeous, and the special effects are amazing. So yeah, I hope you can get to watch it. I've got Paramount Plus, and they've got all the Star Treks on it. Sorry, we're not sponsored by them. Also, I just wanted to point out, Rigor Morty has done our new intro. So if you like the intro that is for this episode, we can thank Rigor Morty. Rigor Morty. Rigor Morty. So thank you, because I was using the old one from years ago, and he made one up. All right, so you can follow us on Instagram at Control Alt WoW Podcasts. You can see the show notes at controlaltwow.com, which does forward to controlaltwow.blogspot.com. And thank you for listening. And do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I don't.
Okay, this is April PVD.
And this is Pink Grenadiers. Rule of acquisition number 19. Satisfaction is not guaranteed. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Technology recharge.